We back, baby! Woo! This is exciting for many reasons. 1, it's my first sequel review. And 2, I get to talk shit on something. Woo! Let's go, baby! Episode 2 of 13 Reasons Why Fucking Sucks. The episode starts with this beautiful opening, and I'm not gonna lie, it does bring back some nostalgic memories. The show was huge when I was in middle school. Literally everyone I know was watching and talking about it, so I'd be lying if I said I didn't have some fond memories of the show. That doesn't mean I think the show is good, that just means I remember it fondly. Okay, so after the intro, we hear Hannah talking on the tape, but she's very happy for some reason, and it's really weird. Okay, so let me get this out of the way. I suffered from depression myself, and it sucks. However, that doesn't mean I gatekeep it like some people think depressed people do. No, I really don't care if you make jokes about depression or whatever. Portrayed poorly, I really don't care. But don't do it in a PSA. This is why I hated Trafficked so much. It was just a movie with shock value and a PSA tagged on. Well, that in the movie fucking sucks. Now, I don't have an issue with PSAs inherently. I've actually made a PSA video game myself. You can't play it anymore, but it was a part of a small 2-minute horror game jam. Admittedly, it was just a PSA, but that was kind of the point. It wasn't very fun to play, and you actually didn't really do anything. The point was, funny enough, was to be a PSA about an issue that people aren't talking about. This doesn't make me a hypocrite. The PSA wasn't tagged on. The PSA was completely designed around this. 13 Reasons Why is just way too entertaining and engaging to really sell this message of suicide. Trafficked is just too fucking stupid to be anything other than bad. Okay, the point of this is I'm really pissed at how Hannah acts in this fucking show. She does not sound depressed ever. And this opening, she sounds like me making a video. That's not a good thing to have when you're trying to tell us why she killed herself. I mean, she even asks if we're having fun. Like, who does that? Why would you ask that? If you wrote a suicide note, would you write that on the suicide note? Let's just move on. Okay, so as she rambles on, the show cuts to her giving back her uniform to the movie theater and also cuts to her and Clay making out. Ooh. So Clay is lying on his bed when his mom knocks on the door and tells him to get up because they're all having breakfast together. As Clay takes a shower, it keeps cutting between him taking a shower and Hannah dead in a bathtub while Hannah's just rambling about incoherent nonsense, and it's really weird. Clay goes downstairs and eats coffee, French toast, and eggs while his dad sits on his computer. Mom proposes that they have family breakfast every day instead of dinner because they're super busy. As they ask Clay about the history project he and Tony are working on, or what they think he's working on, Clay notices that there's a bottle full of antidepressants that used to be his. He says that he hasn't taken them in over 2 years, and his mom says that she's just worried about him, and rightfully so. As Clay leaves the table to get ready for school, she talks to her husband and says that she's worried about her son because he's keeping secrets. Her husband replies with that he should be keeping secrets because he's 17 years old. He'd be worried if he wasn't keeping secrets. As Clay rides to school, Hannah tries to guilt trip him into continue listening to the tapes. We then get this weird horror moment where the entire school is looking at Clay and the camera zooms in to make everyone appear closer than they are, but then it's revealed to be a dream or something. Clay's just standing by his locker when that happened. What the fuck is happening? Is he schizophrenic or something? We then cut to the gym where we see basketball players practicing basketball and cheerleaders practicing cheerleading, and Clay walks in. The basketball coach comes up to him and says to get out because it's a closed practice. The coach doesn't remember Clay's name even though he's in his history class. Thanks for making the history teacher and sports ball coach lazy. Thanks, show. Clay asks if he can talk to Justin about a homework assignment that they're doing, but the coach says that Justin's not here and he's pretty upset about that. But as Clay begins to leave, the coach asks him to see if Justin's doing okay, because if Justin's not doing okay, he can talk to his coach about what's going on, and that's actually kind of cool. That's something a coach would say and ask about. That's actually really cool. I know that doesn't sound like much, but from this show, it's actually kind of cool that they bothered putting that in because later on in the show we're going to see that it probably wouldn't be that way with those current writers. So the subject of this tape is Hannah's old friend Jessica Davis, who is just conveniently pissed that Justin isn't here. Like, she just storms into the class and starts shouting angrily at the kids because Justin's not there. As she leaves to go see the school counselor or something, she notices Clay's headphones and makes a snarky comment about what he's listening to. After class, a cheerleader named Sherry walks up to Clay and asks how he's doing. She's just going around making sure that people are okay because of what happened, and she knew that Clay and Hannah were close. Because she knows this, Clay asks her if Hannah ever said anything bad about him, and she says no, that she really liked him. After this, she asks him out to coffee. Wow, lucky him. Hannah talks about how she and Jessica met because they have the same school counselor, and it's one of those ladies that's like super excited to be there. You know who I'm talking about, the one who's like super happy all the time and is always just so cheerful and just smiling all the time. Yeah, it's one of those ladies. The counselor is trying to have Hannah and Jessica be friends because they're both new, and she wants to be in on their little friend group. Okay, that's kind of weird. Jessica and Hannah instead start misnaming each other as kind of a joke and asking if they can have a friend with the names that they've been misnaming. And it's actually kind of funny. I laughed while rewatching the episode, so I guess it got a joke out of me, so I'm an idiot. I should not be enjoying it like this. I really shouldn't. As Hannah leaves, she's just super happy in the halls and walks up to Clay, and Clay's like, "Whoa, why are you so happy? Just be sad and depressed like me." In the present, Clay smiles and relives the memory when he gets pushed by someone and slides down the hall, and literally no one cares. Like, the hallway is super crowded and no one cares that Clay was just pushed. Another school counselor, Mr. Porter, noticed Clay dropped his Walkman, and he gets nostalgic over it and asks what he's listening to. Clay makes up some old band name that does exist, and they talk about that for a bit. Word then says he wants to talk to Clay about Hannah sometime because he knew they were friends and wants to see if he's okay. We cut back to the past, where we see Hannah and Jessica walking down the sidewalk together, and they decide to go to a coffee shop to get some hot chocolat together. Jessica reveals that her dad's in the military and they're always moving, and Hannah reveals that this is her first move ever, so they both have different experiences with it, which I think was kind of cool. They laugh about some dumb gossip about the school counselor, and then they laugh at the fact that they are now becoming friends, just like the counselor said. Back in the real world, the real Clay asks the real Jessica if Porter knows about the tapes, and she looks absolutely terrified that he said that so loud. Turns out Porter talked to Justin the day before, and that's why he's gone. She then tells him not to believe everything he hears, and it goes back to the flashback. Fuck, this is getting difficult to follow. So Hannah and Jessica become good friends, where they talk about boys and shopping and all sorts of other cliche girl stuff, and then it's revealed that a boy is following them around, but because he's cute, it's okay. They decide to sit next to him in the coffee shop. This man's name is Alex Standall, whose actor IRL is gay and actually dated Justin's actor during filming. This is definitely not important, I just wanted to mention it. It turns out he also moved into town just recently, just like the girls. Wow, that's convenient. They make him dissect a painting that's on the wall, and after he does, they invite him into the friend group. Lucky guy. Clay is wandering around the school, and he's called into the office for something called attendance alerts, because someone wants to make sure he's still going to school. Okay. Alex walks into the office, and Clay asks him how he's doing, and Alex is just a dick to him for no reason. Like, Jesus Christ, everyone at this school is just a bunch of fucking assholes. Like, why? Why are they dicks to each other? It's stupid. Back in the past, Alex, Jessica, and Hannah are just talking about stuff, and then they're talking about Alex's dad, who's a cop, and Jessica likes that because she loves a man in uniform. That's really weird. She wants to meet his dad because he has a uniform. Ooh, what the fuck? Oh, it gets kind of weirder too because Alex then says, "Well, your dad wears a uniform," and then Jessica just kind of gets this look on her face, and she's like, "Oh, I never really thought about it that way. Like, ugh, what the fuck is this?" Okay, so it's really funny because at the coffee shop they keep getting their drinks and they just reuse the same shot for when they're getting their drinks. Like, I guess they just wanted to save on the budget or something. I don't know. It's just the same shot. Like, what the heck? Was it too hard to do multiple takes of the same shot? I mean, if it ain't broke, don't fix it, I guess. Alex eventually stopped going to the coffee shop because he made new friends, and then eventually Jessica made new friends as well, and then Jessica and Alex began dating. Wow, that was fast. Wait, why are they dating? In every encounter we've seen so far, she's been kind of a dick to him. Like, not mean, just kind of like playfully rudeness. Why are they dating now? Back in the real world, Clay is getting food from the vending machine where he overhears some teachers talking about Hannah, but they notice him and he quickly runs away. Back in the past, Clay and Hannah are on break at the theater job eating food outside. Hannah asks him if she could ever be as pretty as Jessica Davis, and Clay hesitates to answer, and then says that Jessica is pretty, but Hannah is too. Hannah then insults him and storms off and says he's just like every other guy. What the fuck, Hannah? He didn't do anything wrong. You put him on the spot. He answered it honestly. You didn't like the answer and got mad at him? What the hell? I'm supposed to feel sorry for you? Jesus Christ. Fuck her, Clay. Go find some new friends. You deserve better than her. Later in the past, but later that day, I guess. I don't know. Hannah's taking tickets when Jessica and Alex show up to get a ticket. Or, I guess, get tickets. Hannah gives Jessica a ticket for free, but makes Alex pay. What an entitled little bitch. My best friends are hanging out with each other and not me. So I'm going to be mean to one and nice to the other because I like her better. God damn it. Back in the present, we're at a pep rally, and the cheerleaders are doing cheerleader things like dancing, and we see these athletes in the back staring at their asses and talking to each other about them. Well, for fuck's sake, show, come on! Okay, just a quick side note, these cheerleaders are awful. I don't really like cheerleading dances as is, mostly because I find them annoying with the shitty music they play and the shitty edits they do to good music, but there is no life to this routine at all. This is like the most generic cheerleading dance I have ever seen in my entire life. I mean, the only thing that they got right was the shitty music. There is no life to any of the jumps, any of the stunts, or any of the stuff that they're doing. After the cheer routine, the principal says that it's the first preseason basketball game, and it's the first step on their way to state. Okay, sure. This high school won a state championship in basketball, especially the year prior. Right. The principal reveals who the Chad athlete of the school is, and his name is Bryce Walker, to literally everyone, and he uses the most cliche dialogue to introduce him. Wait a minute. Why is the gym so small? This looks like a middle school gym at most. This is a big-ass high school. Why are the bleachers only 3 rows high? And why is the school segregated between those who care about sports and those who don't? Where did they film this at? A fucking elementary school? Why is this gym so small? So Bryce introduces the basketball team starting lineup and wait, what? Wait, why is an athlete doing this in a pep rally? I'll admit, I didn't go to many pep rallies, but this always happened at a basketball game itself, and it was never an athlete that did it. It was the announcer of the game. Why is he doing it here? Why? There's no parents, so who gives a shit? So as Bryce names off names, and the cheerleaders do this weird cheer routine to introduce the player, or I guess escort the player out. Jessica's worried because she can't find Justin, and when Justin's name is called out, she does her thing, but Justin isn't there, and it makes her embarrassed or something. Wait, why are you embarrassed? You still got to do your routine. It's just Justin wasn't here. If anything, the basketball coach should be embarrassed. Why are you embarrassed? Jessica angrily storms out, and Clay follows her somehow. you're not allowed to leave assemblies like this. He asks her if Porter knows about the tapes, and she shuts him up by threatening him, and slowly everyone walks out of school a few seconds later. What? That was a fast assembly. Wait, how did they all just leave so quickly? That's not how auditoriums work. As Clay gets on his bike and is ready to ride his bike home, he gets stopped by Zach Dempsey and some guy named Marcus who are trying to get Clay to come over to Bryce's house. Wait, I thought you guys had a game. Why are you hanging out? I know varsity games are later at night, but wouldn't you have to stay for the JV and freshman games? Why are you going home? Don't you have to help out? It doesn't matter. Tony just bails Clay out by telling those two boys to fuck off. Hannah goes off on a tirade about how boys talk and girls listen, and it fucks everything up in high school. What the hell? What? This is one of the most idiotic things I have ever heard. Did the writers actually go to high school? I don't think they did, and there's plenty of evidence later in the show that proves my point. This has to do with my rant earlier. If you're going to portray mental health, then by extent you have to portray high school right. This is a weird cliche fan fiction stuff which is super unrealistic and makes no sense. There is no way there is a high school that invokes these cliches to the letter that can be completely relatable to teenagers. One day, Hannah and Jessica agree to meet up in the coffee shop, and Jessica goes off on Hannah about how her and Alex, because Alex has a list of girls and he thinks are the hottest girls or something, and it's revealed that Jessica and Alex broke up. Jessica is putting all the blame on Hannah, calls her a slut. After Hannah says fuck you, Jessica bitch slaps Hannah, and literally no one in this coffee shop cares. What is happening? This is not how people act, and this is not how high schoolers act. This is just some stupid fucking stuff that old boomers who don't know anything about high school write because they think that this is what teenagers act like. It's just so fucking stupid! In the future, or I guess the present, or I don't know anymore. I don't know what this is. Clay walks into the coffee shop and talks to Jessica again. This time, she's willing to talk, and she makes up a bunch of shit about Hannah and claims it's all Hannah's fault. God, this is so fucking petty. It's, for fuck's sake! They also keep making these weird, shitty suicide one-liners. Like, what the fuck? Clay asks Jessica why Marcus and Zach wanted him to go to Bryce's house, and she warns him to stay away from them for his own good. Cut to Bryce's house, where he takes Zach and Marcus to the backyard pool house, which is where Justin is, playing some shitty Call of Duty ripoff known as Desert Duty. Okay, I'm gonna talk about this for a minute. They literally made a first-person shooter for the show, and I think it's playing on an Xbox 360. In a later episode, it's shown to have split screen too, meaning someone out there made a video game for this show, and this show only. A game that appears to be fully functional and playable on an Xbox 360. That's crazy to me that they actually went through the effort to do that. Sure, it looks like shit, but that's kind of cool, actually. I kind of want to see if it's complete and playable. I hope someday someone dumps the ROM online or something. Like, holy crap, a programmer made this! I could do this! Someone hire me to make a video game for your show! I can't get over it. It's an actual game they made. Sure, maybe what we see playing is just a video, but there's definitely a game on that screen that someone made for this show. That's wild. I'm honestly impressed that they went through the extra mile to do that instead of just having Call of Duty playing in the background. Tony visits Clay at the coffee shop, and he asks Clay what's taking him so long to finish the tapes. Clay asks Tony why he can't just tell him what's up, and Tony says it's because this is something you have to do to get on your own. We then cut back to the pool house where Zach and Marcus are playing Desert Duty together. There! Split screen! Holy crap, wait, let's look at this. I know you guys can't see this, but sorry. Okay, so the HUD for a player has... Wait... Okay, so the HUD for the players have a mini-map on the top, in the bottom left. A little above it says, get to the secure LZ. At the top of it, I think says active server or something with a chat box. Okay, maybe this is PC. Next to that says player rank 1 out of 2. Okay, so maybe not. It's just a free-for-all between Zach and Marcus. The right side of the HUD shows a health bar and ammo counter for the assault rifle, grenades, and pistol. Okay, I don't know why we need individual ammo counters for that. Also, the guns have no hands. They just kind of float in the air. Okay, so this is game that's probably on the PC. They're not showing the controllers if they're on or off, but I think that's still awesome. Netflix, release this game. I want to play it. Justin is doing drugs while the guys are gaming, and Jessica comes over and starts hitting Justin and demands that he tells her what he told Mr. Porter. Camera shifts to an overhead view, so now we can see that the controllers aren't on. The boys aren't actually moving their fingers fast enough to mimic the movement on the screen, and the Xbox is oddly enough sideways in the media center. Okay. I guess it is just a pre-recorded video. Oh, well, it's still really cool. Netflix, please release Desert Duty. Start a gaming section or something. I don't know. Release Desert Duty. I want to play Desert Duty! Jessica asks Justin if Hannah was lying. Why are you here? Marcus and Zach share a look. Justin drinks a beer. Hannah's tapes are playing again to Clay as he rides past Hannah's house where he sees her mom in the window grieving. We then cut to the past where Hannah is painting her fingernails, and then cut back to the present where her mom is looking around the room with the fingernail paint for some reason. Then her mom finds the list. She excitedly tells her husband the news, but he's like, it's nothing. It's just a compliment. And it's revealed that they are suing the school. Wait, why? This isn't the school's fault. I don't even think what little evidence they have is enough to press charges against the school. I mean, mom is adamant on finding out what this list means, but her husband is just like, just drop it. Like, why are you suing the school? What is that going to accomplish? Hannah's mom then calls Tony and asks him to come over to help them out with this, and then for some reason the song Run Boy Run plays. I mean, it's a good song, but it's super upbeat and energetic for this scene. It's okay. I mean, the episode then ends with Hannah saying, "It's complicated." Okay, honestly, it was a lot more fun than I remembered it. It's not great, but more fun than I remembered. I'll give my full thoughts once I eventually finish reviewing the show, but it's really just a teen drama with a PSA slapped on at the end. And in a way, that's a bit disappointing. If it was just a teen drama, it would have been pretty good. And as a drama, it is. It's kind of why I like Season 1. It's a fine teen drama show. But the slapped on PSA, it's just not good anymore. I'll talk more about this later. Have a good day. See ya.